have 4 different button styles. Again, we pick one, we tap save, and now things have changed. Now, that may not look great, but sometimes you want a lighter color because you're using a different background and so forth. So let's see how things look with a different background. We've got some built-in stock wallpaper. So again, for those, we're going back to the preferences screen. We've got wallpaper down here. And one of the considerations we had when we were making these wallpapers was that we don't want to upstage the buttons with the background. You don't want it to be hard to see the buttons on the screen. So these are all a subdued black and white, but there also are some interesting textures and so forth. So we can pick one. In this case, I've got bamboo. I'll save that, and then now we have a little bit of a different look. Again, this affects only this iPad. These are high quality backgrounds. They aren't high color, but they're high resolution, so it shows up in the Retina display on the iPad or the iPhone, the newer models. They also tile seamlessly, so as you drag the layout, you'll see that the bamboo seems to scroll forever. So that's kind of the stock backgrounds. You can also add your own custom wallpaper for something with a little bit more personal touch. So we're going to go back to the same wallpaper screen. If we scroll to the bottom, there's an option here for custom image. And tap on that. It's initially blank, but when we tap on it, we get the photo library on the device. And so I can pick any photo in my library, and when I do, I see a little thumbnail there. I tap on save, and then I get my custom background. So when it comes to doing this, I like to use I have a couple personal preferences. One is I like to use a darker background just so that the buttons pop a little bit more. And the other thing is that I personally like this flat style button because the interior of the button is transparent, so you can see a little bit more of your background photo. So if you are going to use a custom background, I think this is a good option here. So there's another place where we have a per client custom personalization, and that's with channel guide favorites. We reviewed that in the first session, so I'm not going to go over it, but you may remember that you can, when you pick your channel guide provider, that's stored on the individual iPhone, iPad, Android device, and then you can set favorite channels, and those favorites can be different for every person in the family that's using a different device to control the system. So that's personalization. The next thing I want to look at is launch and shutdown actions. And we had some exposure to this in our first session.